My expedition is ruined. One catastrophe after another. Oh, we meet again. You wouldn't happen to be interested in performing a few light duties, would you? I'm in need of a temporary assistant. I've been researching ancient Yokuden ruins to see what light they cast on modern Redguard culture. It's quite fascinating, but not without peril. My erstwhile assistant was, incapacitated during one of my experiments, and I hope to recover him. Quite so. At least he should be, once I reverse the transmogrification. But all in good time. I'll need you to find where Stibbons put my alchemy supplies, and perform his other duties while he's absent. Best get started. All my best things are at my second camp, through these ruins. Then we'll need to make our way over to my first camp, by the dig site. Unfortunately, it's overrun by goblins. The goblins? Certainly not. I've been studying the local gargoyles. I believe they're the key to certain Yokuden myths and legends. The goblins are irrelevant. Their interference has been most inconvenient. Do be a dear and show them no mercy. Let's get on with it, shall we? Stibbons isn't going to revive himself. Yes, most satisfactory. Stibbons would have dusted them off as well, but one mustn't be choosy, must one? Now, off to our first camp at the dig site, where we'll find my man Stibbons. Shall we? I'm back, Stibbons. Glad to see you haven't run off anywhere. What a hodgepodge. How is one supposed to find anything in here? Please, pay me no mind. I didn't expect to react so strongly to seeing poor Stibbons in this state. Now, where did he put those notes? I suppose you should know the truth. Ancient inscriptions here described some unique alchemical processes, which I tried to duplicate. I fear I succeeded all too well, and Stibbons' unfortunate condition is the result. Yes, but I'm certain I can restore him if we find his, my notes. Stibbons put them in a safe place somewhere in this camp. I'm sure you can find them. You're ever so handy at that sort of thing. Julianos' little teapot. Where could they be? Oh, praise the divines. You're a lifesaver, Stibbons. Whatever your name is. At any rate, give me a moment to read these over, and I'll know what I need next. Ah, yes. Now I recall how it was. Stendar smite them. The goblins took my reagents. Would serve them right if they ate them, the wretches. That gives me an idea. I need to develop an antidote for the Yokuden stoneflesh potion. And to be safe, I'll need to test it on other research subjects before applying it to Stibbons. So I need the original reagents back so I can make more of the Stoneflesh potion. So we can use it on the goblins, of course. Once they're petrified, they'll be the test subjects for my antidote. Let's go recover my reagents from those beasts. Then I must check my notes against the Yokuden inscriptions, if I can find them again. These writings are very old indeed. How gratifying. Oh, this is a curious one. I must have missed it on my first pass. I'll have this in an instant. You're rather useful in your own way. Meritorious work. Now, according to my notes, I just need to combine these reagents and shake the vial. Indeed it is. It's up to you to administer it, of course. You should probably pour it into whatever noisome slumgullion they're brewing up in those cookpots. While you're attending to that, I'll consult with our hireling guide. Oh yes, his name's Mare. He's rather a crazy old hermit, but he certainly knows his way around these old Yokuden ruins. He lives in a nearby cave overlooking the ruins. Hermit's Climb, they call it. I tried, but he refused to go near the goblins. Besides, he's quite mad. He's become entirely preoccupied with some ancient Yokuden riddle. You'll see when you meet him. Perhaps you'll be able to talk some sense into him.
Still as the stone that walks. Yes. They remember, you know. They carry their histories etched in their flesh. Hearken, wayfarer. They were here before the walls rose, and they are here after. And yet some mock these lowly creatures for worshipping them. What folly! The flying stones hold the secret you seek. in their unyielding flesh that is not flesh. There are no dunes without wind, yet when the wind is gone, the dune remains, eh? Tongues of stone, young seeker. Tongues of stone.
You see? Quite maddening. And all I have to go on are these similarly arcane inscriptions from the ruins. The Yokuden inscriptions are mysterious. Frankly, I'm baffled by them. But Mare has dropped hints that he knows what they mean. I'm sure he could tell me what I want to know, if I could only figure out how to give him what he wants. He wants the answer to the riddle of the inscriptions. He'll tell me my answer if I'll give him his answer, or something like that. It's maddening. Stibbons would know what to do, I'm sure. He was always good at seeing what's right in front of me. They contain the key to the antidote for my stoneflesh potion. Somehow, the gargoyles inspired the early Redguards to experiment with their own flesh and bone. If I could only understand their cryptic inscriptions, I could master their alchemy.
You have answers. Answers are more to me than water. Answers! Answers! A riddle? No. The riddle. The one these ruins whisper every night. The one that hums through the walls when the sun beats upon them. You know whereof I speak. You've read the 3 inscriptions. If you haven't, what are you waiting for? You have answers. A riddle? No. The riddle? No, no. Do you think I have not thought of that? Air. Yes, that's it. The breeze. The breath of Tava. Ah, devious Sep. You wind a fateful path in this desert. Here then is your answer. Within the maw and between the teeth, the gargoyle cannot hide its mortality forever.
The tongue, of course! Arce's beard. Could anything be more disgusting than this gargoyle's tongue? Oh, one must make the best of it, I suppose. Now, how to prepare the antidote. That's why I had you dose the goblin's stew. Do pay attention. Several of them must have been petrified by now. I've prepared several versions of the antidote. I'll need you to apply it to the petrified goblins and record the results. I shall have to somehow drag Stibbons back to the other camp. It's a bother, but there's no help for it. Once you've observed the results of your trials, meet me back there with your report. That data should enable me to concoct the final antidote. Did you use all of them? I do hope you paid close attention to their effects. That's just what I was counting on. Right. Now I know how to adjust the concoction to make a working antidote. Oh, soon Stibbons will be right as rain, thanks to my brains and your brawn. Now see here. Your lack of confidence in me is quite unjustified. I know exactly what I'm doing. All right, stand back. I've no doubt these results will be spectacular. Now, if my calculations are correct, they should take effect almost immediately.
Oh, by Xanathar, I have an acute throbbing in my cranium. Could this be what a hangover is like? Possibly, though I'd like to take time for a more detailed inspection. How long was I asleep? Is Lady Laurent all right? A statue? Are you jesting? No, I can see you're serious. I recall nothing. I seem to be intact, although perhaps a trifle stiff in the joints. I could certainly use a strong... That is, I believe I have a bottle of medicine that will help me.
There. See, I told you it would work. Indeed I am. I know you may not have much experience taking risks like this, but sometimes you just have to follow your instincts. Regardless, I owe you my thanks. Why, if Stibbons were stuck as a statue forever, I don't know what I'd do. I think we have accomplished quite a bit in this short time. With Stibbons rescued and our notes gathered, I think it's time we returned to civilization and compiled our conclusions. It will be a scholarly sensation.
You there. You there. Do you scout for the Imperial invaders? Is that why you passed this way? Captain Hellenes and her Imperial troops stole the old tower right from under us. We returned from our patrol to find the position taken by Imperial runts. They must have known we were weak. They must have been warned. Doesn't matter now, does it? The Imperials got in, and the border post is lost. I have a dying request. Bring me the helm of Captain Hellenes, so I can rally others to our banner. We can salvage some honor, at least. In trying to retake Old Tower, I have won only my death. But there is still honor. I can think of nothing but taking Captain Hellenes' helm. It will rally Covenant troops to this camp, and we will reclaim the tower once more. My sister wives, Shagrum Gradumba and Shamush Gradumba, will look after me. They know what to do if I don't recover. But all will be well. Be assured of it. If I die while you are gone, that is Moloch's will. As long as my death has honor, I have no sorrow in its coming. My sister wives, Shagrum Gradumba and Shamush Gradumba, will do what they must, when they must.
Pardon my manners, I can't rise to bow. I'm afraid I'm not as spry as I was. Won't be for a while. I tried to infiltrate the Imperial camp. Falsify their orders. Wanted to send them far from here. It was a great plan, but flawed, for I am not the man I once was. Idle days have stolen my strength. I fled into the rocks after I was wounded. They once called me the Sly Scarab, but my given name is Mazrahil. Other questions must wait. Those orders are of paramount importance. If you get them, I can hobble unnoticed to the ruins below the gate and await you there. Will you help me? Imperials and beetles both have surly dispositions and sharp implements, but you must persevere. The future of Bangkorai may rest on your shoulders. Once I catch my breath, I'll meet you at the ruins below the Craglorn Gate. I have a dead drop at the base of the Craglorn Gates. No one has left the Scarab a note for years, but I always check. Old habits, yes? Anyway, I saw the smoke from the road and decided to investigate. I suspect that after Holland's stand was liberated, they decided Old Tower was a solid and defensible position. Only Tall Papa knows why they refused to leave Bangkorai entirely. There must be something in Hammerfell that they want. These Imperial dogs are creatures of routine. They'd likely die of starvation if a dining schedule weren't posted outside the company's mess. But we can count on them to follow orders without question. They should. I'm a fair hand at forgery, if I do say so myself. These should do the trick, all right. Hurry. I saw them burnishing their weapons and armor while I crept through their camp. I think they intend to march soon. Fast and effective. Onsi has blessed me with a capable ally in my time of need. Now let's take a look at what you found, and we'll learn if fortune continues to favor us today. The 7th Legion soldiers here have been ordered to find and loot the dwarven city of Volenfell for an ancient device their Chancellor seeks. I've forged new orders that will send them back to Cyrodiil instead, but they lack an official seal. I hope you mean, how can you get one? If you can find an Imperial officer's signet, that will serve the purpose. They're carried by Legion officers, of which there are 2, Lieutenant Corvinus and Lieutenant Voteprix at this camp. Here are the phony orders. Just place them into the dispatch chest in the command tent by the tower, with the Imperial officer's signet folded inside them. If you can make this work, we'll send those Legionnaires back to where they came from.
Captain Wardouche could not wait for you to return. My sister gave him an end befitting a warrior. Keep the helmet of his foe. We do not need reminders of this folly. Yes, once his suffering was greater than his need to see his revenge made manifest. Keep the trophy if you wish. The idea that waving a stolen hat would somehow restore the old tower to us was nothing but a dying orc's folly.
Glad one of us is still nimble. I couldn't get any further up the slope than this. In the confusion of your violent entry and exit, they won't notice their papers were disturbed. Sometimes rowdy is better than sly. Of course. And because of your actions here, they will never find the magic weapon Chancellor Thorn wants. That's good news for the Covenant, and possibly for all of Tamariel. Why, we're heroes! Go. Don't worry about me. My faith's been justified this day more times than I care to count. I'll be better presently. But this is the last adventure for the sly scarab. You're right, I didn't. You've heard of the Black Drake, yes? Funny, it's been decades, but now facing these Imperials, it feels like days. Long ago, the Reachmen were called to war by a mighty chieftain known as Daggerfall, the Black Drake, a feral man-mountain. Well, his exploits and demise are well documented. Less well known is the aftermath. The Black Drake and his horde tore Holland's stand to pieces. All goods of value were stolen or destroyed. All semblance of civic order was broken. Not enough, but I did what I could. I exposed criminal plots, abducted corrupt bureaucrats, broke political prisoners out of dungeons. Some town crier started calling me the Sly Scarab. I'm still not exactly sure why. Well, it had to come someday. Being the Scarab has never been a choice. I did what I had to do. But this is my last exploit. I think it's time for a good long walkabout in the deep desert.
To fruition, mortal. You serve me now as a vessel of destruction.